What's up, Camden County, Allison Shores, Dakota Jones, Camden County Chamber of Commerce, and today, on this episode of Get in Your Business, we are going to let you in on a little gem, the St.Marys magazine. So we are going to catch up with the renowned Barba Ryan, and she is going to tell us all about this little magazine and what it has to offer, as well as the St.Marys Little Theater. So we're excited today. So let's go on, catch up with Miss Barbara, and see what this is all about.
Miss Barbara, as I live and breathe, how are you?
Oh, Miss Barbara!
You ready to get into my business?
We are so ready.
Miss Barbara, thank you so much for meeting up with us. I'm glad we caught you before the paparazzi found out where you were this afternoon.
Oh, I think it's too late.
First of all, I want to get all into this beautiful publication that you put out. Before we get into all the details, I want everyone who may not know, if that's even possible, a little bit about you. So, like how long you've been in St. Mary's, when this magazine started, and just a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks for asking. I came to St. Mary's first in 2004, and actually I came to write a story about the railroad, and I ended up buying the Good Bread Bed and Breakfast, and just absolutely fell in love with St. Mary's. It was just, it felt like coming home to me. Yeah. So, I wasn't going to move here because I lived in Fort Lauderdale, but I just got so involved with the people in the community, and that's really how the magazine was born. I said, the world needs to know about this place, you know? So I created the magazine to really share with the world. It's the magazine, as you read it, you'll know it's my love letter to St. Mary's.
It's beautifully said. I love that.
Yes. Now, how many years have you been?
17 years, yes.
17 years.
Yes.
You know, as I flip through here, I see so many familiar faces and the stories. Tell me about some of the stories and stuff. Like, what does this magazine actually?
Well, what it does, our mission is always, we say, we touch the heart and the mind will follow. So through beautiful images and compelling storylines, we bring the reader in. And we cover everything from, you know, history, adventure, romance, entertainment. Coming up in this issue, the next issue, will be a story about osprey. A lot of people don't know about the osprey as the famous bird here. And some details are, you know, they can have as much as a 6-foot wingspan. And
What?
I love divulging things like that because the most flattering thing to me is when someone who's lived here all their life says, I read that article and I didn't know that. So we cover a lot of nature. We're going to do a story about the ancient loggerhead turtles, and one of the things about them is they travel thousands and thousands of miles to come back to Cumberland Island where they were born to birth their own offspring. So it's just little details like that, little gems, little pearls that people really love to uncover.
You mentioned compelling storylines and romance and these narratives. So when I think compelling storylines, I can't help but to need to talk about the St. Mary's Little Theater, because I'm always seeing on social media and in these publications these wonderful stories, and we were chatting before, and we learned a lot about you and a lot about the Little Theater. So can we touch on that?
I will. St. Mary's Little Theater is a nonprofit group we formed 15 years ago, and the way it was formed is we also have another organization called Coast of Georgia Film Alliance, where we get movies here. We had a movie made here, and one day I had to hire 300 extras, and then they all went home, and I went, oh, all those talented people, what did we do with that talent? So I started the theater group 15 years ago, and it's just been an absolute blessing for the community, not only from the standpoint of our audiences, but the people who are on the stage and the tech crew. They just form this amazing, warm, sweet family, and we have multi-generations. We have grandmas, the daughters, the sons, the grandsons. So we just love that spirit. It's all done at Theater by the Tracks, which is just 10 blocks from the waterfront.
Well, what I thought was interesting is that you actually write some of these stories.
I do. I write at least 2 stories, 2 of the plays a year, and I prefer musicals, so I usually write the musicals and write all the music, and we have one coming up I'd love to tell you about. It's called Call of the Swamp. It's about the Okefenokee Swamp in the late 50s when the federal government was trying to attain land to expand the refuge. Well, there were people who did not want to let their land go.
I can imagine.
So it's an incredible, I call it a dramedy. It's a musical. It's just fun, but it's also historically accurate, so you'll learn something. We have dancing alligators. We have moonshiners. We have a swamp witch, and of course the feds, the revenuers. So it makes for a great story, and it's a love story as well. So that's in October, so I'm excited about that.
And you get so many of our community members involved, not just kids and adults. It's also hair and makeup, all these people. So let's talk about some of that. Like, I love that part of it.
We just have a stunning collection of talent in Camden County. I mean,
Yes.
we have something called Evening with the Stars that we do every year, once a year, because they keep asking for it back, and then we feature different performers, different acts. And I'll tell you, if America's Got Talent were at one of these performances, their whole season would be filled. But I'm so humbled by this talent. It's just amazing.
So, other than the Osprey, what else can we look forward to coming out of the theater this?
Oh, thank you so much for asking. Well, we have an interesting story it's about our antipodal city. Do you know what that is?
No, I do not.
Okay, well that's if you know, when you're a little girl, they said if you keep digging, you're going to end up in China. Well, you won't. If you keep digging from St. Marys, Georgia, you're going to end up in Calgary, Australia.
Stop.
Yes, so it's all about our antipodal city.
How cool is that?
And all the likenesses we have. So I'm even suggesting to the mayor that we make them a sister city. So that's fun.
Yes.
That's a new discovery. And as I say, we're all about discovery. I have a section where people are featuring their dogs. I was overwhelmed. I said, send in your dog and a story. And everybody loves that. You know, St. Marys is a doggy
Yes,
town.
I love the dogs.
And there's a story about what a golf cart town it is, and it is.
Yeah,
You don't have to have a car to live in this area, because it's all about the golf cart. So, and then of course we always cover, the restaurants. And there's a wonderful story about our river. Look at our beautiful river out there.
It's so beautiful.
And we always say the river is calling your name, answer the call. So it talks about the river. Did you know, by the way, that Native Americans believe that for every day that you are by the water, you extend a day of your life? So there's little tidbits like that
I love it.
that I love to throw in.
Yes, I needed to hear that.
Yes.
Okay, what else do we have to cover? Now, how can people get a hold, like, as far as knowing when these plays are going on, when you're doing these? How can people plug in and get tickets?
Well, the stmaryslittletheater.com is our website, but the magazine has all that information, and the magazine's at about 120 different outlets. It is a free magazine, and you can get them I've got 120 advertisers, and if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have the magazine.
And I know we have them at the Chamber.
You have them at all the economic engines, including the Chamber, the Joint Development Authority, of course, all the welcome centers. You can call me and I'll tell you where all the information is right inside the magazine. We do have subscriptions, but we have subscriptions in 32 states. I kind of encourage people out of town to get those.
Absolutely. Now, if a business is interested in advertising in here or getting with you for a story or anything, how can they get a hold of you?
Just go to stmarysmagazine.com. There's my number.
Easy peasy.
That way you don't have to remember it.
I love it.
Also on the website, once someone's ads on the website stays there forever, and the editorials. So if you're watching this and you don't live here, click on the website, and you'll be able to read all these stories from the past issues. And I encourage you to always read my publisher's note, because it's always got a little gem of wisdom in it.
Oh, I will have to check it out. Good deal. Do you have any more questions?
I think that's it. I mean, again, I just wanted to say, I'm glad this is free, this is accessible, just a beautiful way to curate what this experience is for St. Marys, for Camden County, all the different places we can pick it up. I love seeing our chamber membership and the rest of our community in here, Miss Barbara. It's a beautiful addition to St. Marys.
And we love being a member of the chamber. Thank you for all you do.
Yes. You have to do the dance with us. Are you
Oh,
gonna?
I
All you
was
have to do is this right here. Ready? Thank you, Miss Barbara, for letting us
Get in your business.
Thank y'all so much. Like and share.